All right. Hello, welcome, and hello, good evening. I'm Dapper Fox, that Dapper Yeen. Obviously, you're on my channel. Apologies for the super late start and the, obvious lack of camera. I was planning on doing a face reveal today, but ran into issues with my camera. So until I get that figured out, we're just going to do this normally. Uh, duh, 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 duh. Let's go here. Yep, there we go. So, plan is do a little drinking. Hashtag not sponsored. I've got a not a typical drink. White Claw, Surge, Pineapple. They're all right. They get the job done. But we're gonna do a little drinking, and we're gonna do some reaction to Trench Crusade lore. I've only watched like a couple of shorts, and then I decided to do this. So I'm going in mostly blind, pretty much completely blind. But what I do know is that it's a grimdark setting for a tabletop war game that is based in like a World War I era Earth that's been fighting off the legions of hell for 800 years. And I've seen some of the minis, and I would love to have some of them. But this is the channel, category lore. I already hit that like, obviously. The link to the video is in the description. But let's get right into it. All right.
The bells of Jerusalem are ringing as the First Crusade is at an end. Christian forces have achieved a significant military victory in recapturing Jerusalem and the Holy Land from Muslim control. As celebrations of jubilant victory are celebrated by the Crusaders, they are yet to realize that a much darker, more bloodied conflict awaits them in the immediate future. This is because a group of Templars have discovered an ancient evil, and this ain't because.
Right, let's start that back up. August 12th, 1099 AD.
The bells of Jerusalem are ringing as the First Crusade is at an end. Christian forces have achieved a significant military victory in recapturing Jerusalem and the Holy Land from Muslim control. As celebrations of jubilant victory are celebrated by the Crusaders, they are yet to realize that a much darker, more bloodied conflict awaits them in the immediate future. This is because a group of Templars have discovered an ancient evil, and this ancient evil, along with their own lust for power, is about to bring about a cataclysmic conflict which will define all of creation. Wow. Welcome to the world of Trench Crusade. Trench Crusade is a skirmish-scale tabletop miniatures game created by Mike Francina, an illustrator who worked on games such as
let's go back 1 second.
Which was Crusade,
these guys.
all of creation. Welcome to...
Yeah, that's a musket, but they're wearing like Crusade era armor. That's gas mask, chainmail,
the world
Wow.
of Trench Crusade. Trench Crusade is a skirmish-scale tabletop miniatures game
These
created
guys
by
are really
Mike
cool looking
Francina,
too.
an illustrator who worked on games such as Path of Exile, Diablo 4, and System Shock 3, as well as
All right. Let's hear
is
that
a
again.
skirmish-scale tabletop miniatures game created by Mike Francina, an illustrator who worked on games such as Path of Exile, Diablo 4, and System Shock 3, as well as Thomas Perinen, a Finnish game designer.
So, yeah, no, but I can't speak much to System Shock 3 or Diablo 4, but the artwork for Path of Exile was fantastic. Is fantastic.
World they imagined was one where the battle between heaven and hell has found its way into the year 1914. 800 years after the war began following the First Crusades, when a heretical band of Templars defied the Almighty, put aside their vows, and opened the gates of hell upon the world. The result is a grimdark universe of such
Oh, that
in-depth
was
and exceptional
cool.
lore that I felt it was worth taking a deeper dive into this world for both myself and
That is a tank. Like, that is insane. If that's a actual miniature for the tabletop game, oh, I want one.
curious viewers such as yourself. A quick note on what this video is and is not. This video is an organized gathering of the canonical lore from the official lore primer and playset rules. It is not an introduction to the actual tabletop game, but only the lore
That's
it
fine.
is
We're
centered
not
around.
here for the
This
rules
video
of the
is also
tabletop game.
not
We're here for
fan
lore.
fiction. It is a reorganization and paraphrasing of official source material. Any speculative lore will be made clear that it is indeed speculative. Otherwise, it is canonical and directly pulled from the source material. This
Okay.
video is also not intended to be the definitive guide to everything Trench Crusade, as it is being made before the game's official Kickstarter has even begun, and therefore in short time it will contain information which is limited in scope compared to the full scale of the universe.
All right,
I do
so,
hope,
yeah, this
however,
is just
this video
entry-level
can be a
stuff.
timeless starting point for anybody looking to get into the lore of this world.
Which is what I
This
was looking
content
for.
was also created for a very mature audience, so viewer
Wow. Just as a D&D guy, I see potential with that everything here, really. But, oh, I can have so much fun with this in a dungeon, adding into D&D and my Pathfinder game.
discretion is highly advised. With all of that out of the way, let's dive in to the world of Trench Crusade.
All right, history.
You, just you,
Uh,
building your app
ads.
on base 44. Describe it.
Eh,
And it's real. One thought,
there it is.
The First Crusade, launched in 1096 and concluding in 1099, was a pivotal military campaign initiated by the Catholic Church to reclaim Jerusalem and the Holy Land from Muslim control. Catalyzed by Pope Urban II's call to arms at the Council of Clermont in 1095, the crusade attracted a diverse army of knights, soldiers, and peasants from across Europe, driven by religious zeal and promises of spiritual rewards. The culmination of the First Crusade was the Siege of Jerusalem in 1099. After a protracted and brutal assault, the Crusaders breached the city walls and took control. The establishment of the Crusader states, including the Kingdom of Jerusalem, marked the successful conclusion of the First Crusade and initiated a period of Latin Christian rule in the Holy Land. The story of the Trench Crusade universe begins following the conquest of Jerusalem. Following the conquest of the Holy City, the Knights Templar discovered a demonic artifact beneath some of the ancient temples, which corrupted the Templars who discovered it. And these Templars began communing with the demons who spoke through the artifact and performing unholy religious rites. This event is known as the First Heresy. The lore also references an event known as the Act of Ultimate Heresy, which opens the gates of hell upon the world. although there is no reference as to the difference between the first heresy and the act of ultimate heresy. Either way, the gate of hell is opened and Jerusalem is destroyed as a result. 2 years later, in the year of our Lord 1101, the year of 3 battles occurs. The heretics, men and demons who fight for the forces of hell, spend this time conquering most of the Levant, a region in the eastern Mediterranean which includes the modern-day countries
Okay, let's get back to it.
of Cyprus, Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria. Following this, the city of Antioch is fortified and turns into the central point of resistance against the armies of hell for the church and mankind. 8 years following the centralization of resistance forces in Antioch, a group of men known as the 17 Martyrs traveled into the earthly domains of hell to convert the heretics back to the faith. But they were instead captured and are now kept within hot white brazen bulls, now and unto eternity, or their rescue.
That was a legitimate torture, and that was a rough one. It basically steamed you alive in your own juices.
The 13th century would see the church suffer through the wars of Draclavianism, which would cause internal conflict and schism within the church, allowing for the heretics to expand their territory. These events would lead to the death of millions over the course of the century. Although the exact nature of the wars of Triclavianism is yet to be revealed at the time of this video's making, Triclavianism is a word for the belief that Jesus was crucified using 3 nails, which goes against the more commonly held Catholic belief that he was crucified using 4 nails. This means it's entirely possible that the church was having a theological dispute, which led to war and schism, but this is speculative. 40 years following the events of the wars of Triclavianism, Beelzebub, a major demon present throughout the scriptures, unleashes a plague known as the Black Grail upon the world, turning tens of millions of people into metastasized vessels. The Black Grail's timeline is the same as the timeline for the Black Death or the bubonic plague in our timeline. The major difference in this timeline is that the Black Grail can reanimate its victims into deceased soldiers for the forces of hell, leading to an event named
He's deadly looking. The detail is exquisite.
named the Corpse Wars. The resolution of this conflict would not come until the year 1429, where Saint Joan of Arc would drive the Black Grail out from mainland Europe.
Oh, one of my favorite ladies of history.
More than a
Bark.
century later, in the year of our Lord 1545, the great resistance city of Antioch would be destroyed entirely by an infernal weapon of unknown origin and nature. This would lead to the construction of New Antioch, the ongoing focal point of the church and the faithful. In the year of our Lord 1666, named the Year of 6 Woes, the newly crafted heretic naval fleet captured Gibraltar, becoming the central base of operations for the heretic army against all of Europe. This would lead to England constructing what would become known as the Fortress of the White Cliffs, although there is no details on what this fortress actually is. The next 2 centuries would see significant grounds gained by heretic forces, who successfully destroyed the fleet of England while simultaneously constructing and deploying the world's first submarines, which would cause global famine through their destruction of merchant navies. These successes would lead to heretic forces launching a conquest against mainland Europe.
That just looks like a Dremora from Oblivion. Not gonna lie, that art still goes pretty hard though.
Europe following the storming of the city of Rijeka. This would all culminate in the Year of Broken Trinity, numbered in the year of our Lord 1894. During this year, the Death Commandos of Hell would simultaneously assassinate the Supreme Pontiff, the High Prophetess Aliyah, and the Holy Roman Emperor, throwing the Church and the faithful into turmoil and chaos. The Church would gain ground back over the next 2 decades, however, by successfully launching the Church space program in 1899, constructing the moving fortress of Britannia in 1907, and fighting heretics to a stalemate in the moving fortress of Britannia in 1907, and fighting heretics to a stalemate at the Battle of Cordoba in 1910. Preventing the heretics from gaining access to the heartland of Hispania.
That reminds me
The Church
of
would gain ground back
like,
over the next 2 decades, however, by successfully launching the Church space program in 1899, constructing the
but Church program in space. They got to space in 1899. Damn. And this is very reminiscent of I think it was called The Mortal Engines. It was such a it was a movie. I will say that. I never read the books, but that movie it existed.
moving fortress of Britannia in 1907.
The moving city states like that. That's a really cool idea. And apparently very devastating in this world.
And fighting heretics to a stalemate at the Battle of Cordoba in 1910, preventing the heretics from gaining access to the heartland of Hispania. This would all lead into the present setting, the year of our Lord, 1914.
Okay. 1914.
What's the secret to peak health? Going micro with Noob.
Micro habits, micro wins,
I need
even
premium again,
microdose
but I need a
GLP-1s.
job for that.
I can lose up to 11 pounds in 30 days? Heck yeah!
Trench Crusade takes place in a World War I trench warfare setting. The following map, courtesy of Reddit user Deditrans Podashi, shows the general geographical area that the lore and Crusade encompasses. Technology-wise, the power of both Heaven and Hell allow each faction to have unique sets of ancient and modern weaponry. Thanks to the devoted followers of Saint Eligius, the patron saint of metalworkers, the Holy See's weaponsmiths and armorers were able to create steel alloys imbued with divine radiance, metals more durable than standard steel. These craftsmen have produced massive and durable suits of armor out of this metal. Meanwhile, the heretic legions have harnessed metals from the infernal forges of Tartarus, which surpass ordinary steel in strength, but come at a dire price. Wielding such weapons or donning these cursed armors inflicts searing damage on both body and soul, resulting in perpetually festering wounds that never heal. Because of these breakthroughs, melee combat is quite common in the Trench Crusade. However, rifles, machine guns, grenades, and artillery are all commonplace as well. There are also religious items, such as the helmets of the observers of the Synod of Strategic Prophecy, which allow them to hear the voice of God, which imbues great power at great cost. This is only one example of how the faction's powers and abilities create unique and esoteric lore for units and thus...
That's a helmet that lets you see the future? Okay. They use swords and guns. That's a flamethrower if I ever seen one. Really cool.
Creating a unique brand of warfare. Standing for over 300 years since the destruction of Antioch in 1545, the sword and the shield of Europa and Africa, the Principality of New Antioch, is the first line of defense against the forces of hell, and the only thing standing between those forces and the conquest of the entirety of the Levant. Following the destruction of Antioch, the Sword Congress of Vienna resolved to reconstruct and strengthen the city in the year of our Lord 1559, establishing a yearly tithe to be sent to New Antioch by all loyal nations. However, this tribute is seldom monetary. Instead, it comprises a continuous flow of provisions, tools, ammunition, weaponry, machinery, and skilled labor from across Europa, the Mediterranean, and the African territories. The city functions under the governance of the Office of the Propagation of Virtue. Although they are lenient towards the soldiers of the city, they otherwise ruthlessly prosecute any infraction of church doctrine. The weekly executions of heretics has become a grand, highly attended public event as a result of this zeal. Within the city's techno-laboratories, the church diligently works to forge superhuman disciples, known as communicants, by using the cloned flesh and blood of Christ to endow them with extraordinary powers, holding the title of Duke of New Antioch, and therefore emerging as the nominal supreme commander of all of the faithful's armed forces, is an unparalleled mark of honor and prestige, with the current holder of the title being Duke Constantine. Although he is the supreme commander of the faithful, most international troops fight under the command of their own leaders. But the army of the Principality is still the single largest fighting force against the forces of hell.
Units of New Antioch. Okay.
The Observers are an order of warrior monks who spend almost the entirety of their lives within the Temple of the Word, where, in absolute solitude, they sharpen their minds to become the ultimate weapons in the hand of God. Only when the need arises are they summoned by the Synod of Strategic Prophecy. These observers wear helmets that are called Oculus helmets, which allow them to attune to the voice of God. This allows them, to a limited degree, the ability to perceive past, present, and future simultaneously. However, the unending reverberation of the divine echo in their ears makes sleep unattainable, compelling them to rely on powerful sedatives and mind-altering drugs to endure the grueling demand of their battlefield duties. The observers rigorously refine their recitation of the words of God, endowing them with the authority to command both allies and enemies alike. Their specially crafted helmets enhance the Holy Word's power, compelling any creature to obey their commands, if only briefly. Even the smallest lapse in their focus can cause them to lose the voice of God that guides them, leaving them as vulnerable as any ordinary soldier. As the war against hell raged on, the faithful encountered a nigh impossible problem to solve. Due to the supernatural power of the gate to hell, the vast majority of individuals could not approach it, meaning that the faithful could not take the fight against hell to hell itself. In order to combat this, the church began a secret program, intended to create warriors of such physical prowess and internal holiness that they could undertake missions within the very depths of hell. This program was named the Paladin Program, creating members of the Mentalist Order which are imbued with the blood from the Metachrist program. Although we aren't entirely sure what the Metachrist is, communicants are described as having consumed the cloned flesh and blood of Jesus Christ, and therefore it's safe to assume that a Metachrist is a clone of Jesus. Paladins dwell in hidden cells within a secretive wing of Castle Sant'Angelo until the Council of Saints summons them for battle. When their time arrives, they leave their isolation, proceed to the arming chamber, and kneel on the mosaic of the militant Christ the Lion. There, they are equipped and armored by blinded and gelded serfs to prevent any impure gaze or desire. After being briefed on their mission by one of the cardinal generals, they receive the last rites in advance, as no task is more perilous than war within Gehenna itself. Initially, there were 12 paladins, but only 9 survive today. 2 have perished in battle, and rumors suggest that one may have turned coat, though the church fiercely refutes such claims under penalty of death. Despite relentless attempts, the Holy Mentalist Order has failed to create a single new paladin in 3 centuries. Each of the 9 circles of hell presents a unique and hazardous environment, ranging from toxic fumes and intense heat to frigid temperatures far below freezing.
Did they say that the paladins get immortality?
The last desire and kneel on the mosaic of the vast clone of Jesus. Paladins dwell in hidden cells, who ascribe program barriers. Due to the supernatural power of the gate to hell, the vast majority of individuals could not approach it, meaning that the faithful could not take the fight against hell to hell itself. In order to combat this, the church began a secret program, intended to create warriors of such physical prowess and internal holiness that they could undertake missions within the very depths of hell. This program was named the Paladin Program, creating members of the Mentalist Order, which are imbued with the blood from the Metachrist program. Although we aren't entirely sure what the Metachrist is, communicants are described as having consumed the cloned flesh and blood of Jesus Christ, and therefore it's safe to assume that a Metachrist is a clone of Jesus. Paladins dwell in hidden cells within a secretive wing of Castle Sant'Angelo until the Council of Saints summons them for battle. When their time arrives, they leave their isolation, proceed to the arming chamber, and kneel on the mosaic of the militant Christ the Lion. There, they are equipped and armored by blinded and gelded serfs to prevent any impure gaze or desire. After being briefed on their mission by one of the cardinal generals, they receive the last rites in advance, as no task is more perilous than war within Gehenna itself. Initially, there were 12 paladins, but only 9 survive today. 2 have perished in battle, and rumors suggest that one may have turned coat, though the church fiercely refutes such claims under penalty of death. Despite relentless attempts, the Holy Mentalist Order has failed to create a single new paladin in 3 centuries.
So yeah, so those are the successes of the original Paladin program.
Each of the 9 circles of hell presents a unique,
And they're still alive, which means they either have super longevity, can only be killed in battle against demons, or they go into some sort of cryostasis when they're not being utilized. No matter which way you cut it, that's pretty freaking dope. And those guys look really cool, and but the fact that 2 of them are dead and one of them is missing, possibly turned traitor. Traitor Paladin could have possibly killed the other 2.
and hazardous environment, ranging from toxic fumes and intense heat to frigid temperatures far below freezing, necessitating specialized armor for each circle. When a paladin ventures into the gates of hell, they face the grim reality of succeeding alone or perishing, since no one will be coming in to assist them. Because of these risks, paladins are deployed on direct orders from the Council of Saints and are used with extreme caution. Lieutenants lead small squads or platoons within New Antioch's forces. Lieutenants are often the scions of noble families, or have achieved their rank through exceptional skills on the battlefield. Beyond their leadership duties, lieutenants are also tasked with procuring new weapons, equipment, and supplies for their units, which often involve scavenging from the battlefields of no man's land or raiding local settlements. A sacred warrior who tends to the spiritual needs of the soldiers in the unit, the cleric recites uplifting battle prayers and can perform miracles like healing or striking down foes. The cleric typically carries a portable shrine on his back.
Apologies. So they're the healing unit of New Antioch,
Symbolizing his devotion to the company's patron, whether it be one of their homeland saints, a powerful archangel, or the Lord himself. These followers of the church practice ritual blindness as an act of devotion to God, relying solely on their faith to combat the church's enemies. During the siege of St. Lux, there were tales of a sniper priest who, despite his blindness, managed to eliminate a target from a distance of 3 miles. Standard troops of New Antioch,
terrifying.
These brave men and women have undergone basic training and pledge allegiance to the Duke of New Antioch. While they
so
may
these are
not
your
possess the
standard
advanced
foot
combat
soldiers.
skills of elite forces, their sheer numbers and diverse array of weaponry compensate for their lack of
Yeah,
specialized
you're
training. Assault troops who excel in breaching enemy defenses, specializing in swift, aggressive attacks and close quarters combat. They are adept at integrating various combat techniques and using fire team strategies effectively. Combat engineers focus on demolishing bunkers, locating minefields, and constructing battlefield positions. They are equipped with close-range weapons and reinforced steel armor. Despite the high casualty rate within their ranks, they view it as a privilege to serve and sacrifice for New Antioch and the Church. These heavily armored soldiers are tasked with handling the company's heavy weaponry. Chosen from the elite ranks, they
That's really cool. I mean, it's a walking tank, man. It's Iron Man. That is a World War I Iron Man.
go substantial chemical enhancements
World
to
War I
boost their
holy
combat
Iron Man.
capabilities. The Sisters of St. Cosmas are an elite medical unit with
hello.
advanced training, specializing in providing
I mean,
first aid and performing surgeries
hello,
directly on the front lines of the
nurse.
Great War. The Sisters pledge a modern and perform enhancements to boost their combat capabilities. The Sisters of St. Cosmas are an elite medical unit with advanced training, specializing in providing first aid and performing surgeries directly on the front
So
lines of the Great
they're
War.
another,
The Sisters pledge a modern version of the Hippocratic Oath,
healing
which
unit.
requires them to assist all injured soldiers of the faith, regardless of the severity of their condition. Equipped with a combat surgical knife that also functions as a misericordia, a tool historically used by battlefield medics or surgeons to quickly and humanely end the suffering of those who are beyond saving. They are skilled in both saving lives and
they use
ending
tool?
them for those found wounded in no man's land. They carry medical kits stocked with a wide range of battlefield medications, effective at alleviating even the most severe pain and helping soldiers return to the battlefield.
Cool.
The Papal States forces, which answer to the Supreme Pontiff of
Okay, so
Rome
these
rather
are
than the
the,
Duke
like,
of New
individual
Antioch, are
factions
occasionally
in
sent
New
to the front
Antioch.
lines for specialized missions, such as tracking down and neutralizing high-profile heretic leaders or retrieving spiritually significant artifacts.
Like
They
the,
are commanded by warrior monks and priests chosen personally by
the Adeptus orders in 40K.
rather than the Duke of New Antioch, are occasionally
This
sent
guy's
to the
really
front lines
sick
for
looking.
specialized missions, such as tracking down and neutralizing high-profile heretic leaders or retrieving spiritually significant artifacts. They are commanded by warrior monks and priests chosen personally by the Pope. What we know in our world as Ireland, Ire is a bastion of the Church and a staunch adversary of the forces of hell due to relentless and destructive raids by the heretic navy. The Emerald Isle has suffered from famine, been devastated by the Black Grail, and faced a full-scale invasion targeting the renowned House of Manuscripts, which houses many sacred texts. After enduring a century of fierce battles against
They always gotta go after the libraries, don't they?
the invaders, the warriors of Ire have become experts in guerrilla warfare. The elite warrior hunters of Ire are often viewed as godless troublemakers, but their skills as skirmishers make them valuable recruits for war bands that journey to New Antioch to combat the enemy. These warriors display grisly trophies, such as the skulls of their fallen foes, in a manner reminiscent of their pagan forebears, much to the disdain of the Church. When the poet King O'Connor sends his renowned rangers to support the Principality of New Antioch in lieu of paying the annual tithe to Vienna, the Duke eagerly accepts these formidable fighters in
I know their god was proven real, but these guys they're still worshiping the Abrahamic God, but they're worshiping him in ways reminiscent of their old ways. Let them do it. They're effective warriors.
their place. When there is a requirement to neutralize a formidable enemy stronghold or launch an assault on a particularly formidable defensive line of trenches, the Duke of Antioch frequently relies
So
on
these
the
are like
renowned
the-
shock troopers units from the Free State of Prussia. These elite forces are frequently tasked with missions from the princes of the church or the high
Like
command of New
Russians
Antioch.
and Germans.
Admission to this elite unit is determined entirely by merit. Applicants must be exceptional athletes, under the age of 25, unmarried, and have demonstrated remarkable aggression on the battlefield. Shock troopers have the highest casualty rate of all
Berserkers.
Prussian soldiers. These new recruits swear the following oath: to each his own, to me, death. Originating from the Scottish Highlands, these individuals come to New Antioch
Berserker Suicide Squad. That's what that is. Berserker Suicide Squad.
seeking glory, absolution for their sins, valuable loot, and direct combat with devil worshippers. The heretic submarine fleet persistently attacks the kingdom's
Ooh,
shores,
that's a cool
abducting their
looking,
young to be sacrificed
shield
at the dark
sword
altars of the
combo.
archdevils. Feeling a profound animosity towards the forces of hell, their British neighbors' fleet and its renowned mobile fortresses are focused on defending their own coasts, and this leads to friction and resentment from their northern neighbors.
The units are really distinct. I really like that.
Being a fish out of water isn't so bad. I haven't been in water in years, and I'm doing great.
Ooh, the heretics.
It is a stark truth that a third of humanity
I'm not gonna lie. I'd probably run, if I played this game, I'd probably run a heretic or a Hell Legion army. Just
has
saying.
bowed down to the idols of hell. The primary earthly military force of Satan, the heretic legions, is composed of individuals drawn from these condemned souls. Those who have witnessed the war-torn lands.
I always said if I played Warhammer, I'd be a Tyranid guy. Tyranid or Necrons. But in this, we're just getting into it, but I think we might go heretic.
Inhabited by the heretic legion, describe the grand idols of the golden calf and the fervent people who bow before them, offering themselves as sacrifices in violent rituals. In their cities, towering structures of iron and black stone stretch down into deep pits. Inside, sacrificial altars are set up where captives endure prolonged suffering over days and weeks with harsh tools made from dark, infernal materials. Majestic cathedrals dedicated to the princes of hell are supported by massive volcanic arches, while the condemned are displayed on inverted crosses. Becoming part of the army of damnation is a formidable challenge. To secure a spot among the heretic legions, one must undertake a journey to the gates of hell. From even a great distance, the intense fiery heat radiating from this immense structure scorches both body and soul. Those who reach the vicinity of hell's maw are deemed worthy and are admitted into the legions. They pledge unyielding oaths that bind them to the darkness forever, their bodies marked with the devil's sigil, signifying their eternal allegiance. Some individuals push beyond the gate. Their flesh ignites in the process, never to heal, but those with the darkest souls can enter the very inferno itself. These anointed are held in the highest regard within the legions. They are the epitome of savage ferocity, individuals of immense strength and unwavering commitment. Having traversed the cursed path of the shores of the lake of eternal flame, where the damned suffer endlessly, the anointed return forever marked by the abyssal flames. Their scorched and blackened flesh remains permanently damaged, but in return they are allowed to don heavy Gehenna armor and gain the strength to wield weapons that would be impossible for an average man to wield. Although the majority of the heretic legions consist of mortal humans, hell frequently dispatches its own repugnant offspring to bolster the ranks of these human soldiers. In this accursed battlefield, mortals and abominations advance together, united by the torment of their damnation. Making up the majority of the heretic army, heretic troopers have seen the gates of hell and survived, damning them for all eternity.
Yeoman.
Heavily armored and protected assault troopers, the anointed heavy infantry have scorched and blistered skin from their ritual journeys to hell and back. Warwolf assault beasts charge through the miles of barbed wire to clear paths for the heretic.
That's insane looking. Was this a human or was this a demon?
Infantry. Their designed head is built to slice through the obstacles effortlessly. Artillery witches roam the battlefields, launching munitions created in...
This is one of the shorts I watched on the artillery witches. These things are insane. They can just summon artillery shells straight from hell into their hands and throw them, and they have like an unlimited supply.
The death factories of Hell's third circle. They are entirely silent, and their faces have never been seen, with speculation that they may not even be alive. They can summon an endless supply of infernal bombs from a self-conjured portal to hell. From a young age, a chosen few heretic youths are sent beyond the gates of hell to be trained as death commandos. Troopers. Residing in the seventh circle of the Inferno, they receive instructions in the lethal arts of assassination from the souls of history's most notorious killers.
Those are their infiltrators. Oh, that would make sense. The anointed infantry is probably heavy infantry is probably that's either their answer to the mechanized infantry or that's their answer to the shock troopers.
whom are trapped in hell. Additionally, they are taught martial skills by the elite guards of Archdevil Baelith, and their Tartarus claws are drenched in lethal poison from the waters of the river Styx. At the conclusion of their training, the tongues of the Death Commandos are ceremonially removed, that they may never share the tortures they've endured. Instead of speaking, they use a sophisticated system of cryptic hand signals to communicate with one another. Among the most notorious Death Commandos are Cain, the man who committed the first murder by killing his brother Abel, Barabbas, the murderer whom a crowd chose to free over Jesus Christ before the Lord's crucifixion, and Haman, the man who attempted to have all of the Jews in the Persian Empire killed before he was stopped by Queen Esther. It is unknown if the three men in the lore are exactly the same as their biblical names. These three men, in the year of our Lord 1894, executed the Supreme Pontiff, the High Prophetess Aliyah, and the Holy Roman Emperor in a coordinated strike. This caused chaos within the church forces and enabled the legions to swiftly advance across the Levant and Europe. Due to the YouTube terms of service, I won't be going over the choristers. If you'd like to know more, you may look them up in the lore primer in the comments. Once you read up on them, you'll understand why I didn't include them in this video. The leaders of the heretic armies warbands, the heretic priest is one who wields various dark magics,
will probably not be
invoking
looking that
terrifying
up on stream,
demons
but
and
I will
creatures
look that
through
up on my
goetic
own
spells. Typically, they are bound to a demon lord in hell. The profane gospels they chant instill such fear in church forces that they can cause physical damage to the faithful.
At Planet Fitness, we know how important it is to take care of both your mind and body.
The Heretic Fleet functions as a semi-autonomous force, led by its High Captain and various admirals. The Heretics maintain their own marine infantry, which frequently operates in small groups to penetrate deep into enemy territory and carry out hit-and-run missions. They are constantly searching for captives, loot, intelligence, supplies, rare artifacts, and opportunities to showcase their cruelty and savagery. One of the most fascinating units in the Trench Crusade universe. Trench ghosts are the results of heretic troopers dying on sacred ground or in the presence of an untainted holy relic, causing them to become ensnared between realms. Belonging to neither heaven or hell, these trench ghosts become undead, attacking both the faithful and heretics alike while following orders that no living being can hear. Their faces are obscured by gas masks that serve no purpose for them anymore, as their bodies and minds are condemned to endure the horrors of war forever. Legends speak of numerous trench ghost warbands that haunt no man's land, but the most renowned are known as the ghosts of Tannenberg.
Trench pilgrims, huh?
As the faithful wage war against the forces of hell, some individuals find themselves touched by heaven itself, gifted visions and revelations. Sisters of the Holy Orders, touched by heaven itself, gifted visions and revelations.
The night in, what is it? It was like a Metroidvania. It was like religious heavy. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but that's a really cool looking unit.
Sisters of the Holy Orders, marked by stigmata, wield both sword and cross as guided by angels, as others seeking to atone for their sins aim to drag as many followers of the devil as possible with them into the afterlife. Thus, trench pilgrim processions have formed containing the deranged and the wounded, the divinely touched and the guilt-ridden. These disorganized groups follow the prophets of the Lord to the front lines, fighting with unmatched.
Looks like he worships Haster.
Fervor. Most of the pilgrims are individuals with little military training, but once they don the iron capirote of a trench pilgrim, they can confront even the most fearsome demons. Death does not always end their mission either. Occasionally, the seventh Metachrist may judge a fallen pilgrim as worthy and resurrect them as martyr penitents, beings which exist between heaven and earth and are capable of fighting without feeling pain. Each procession maintains its own unique characteristics. The Path of Pious Revenge, dedicated to Saint Olga, employs flamethrowers, incendiary grenades, and burning ammunition. The Pilgrims of the Iron Path, who follow Saint Rita of Cassia, arm themselves with hammers, mauls, maces, and cudgels, and drive nails into their own heads to honor their saint. The
Holy
Theban Legion
crap.
of Rome, devoted to Saint Maurice, engages in combat with swords and other blades.
That's some dedication, man. And this guy.
Swords and a
This guy's
Theban Legion
really
and cudgel
awesome.
who follow their unique character, capable of fighting
Like,
without feeling
that-
pain. Each procession maintains its own unique characteristics.
Like,
the
this
Path
guy's
of Pious
really cool.
Revenge, dedicated to Saint Olga in Rome.
I
A
wouldn't mind having
formidable
been
leader,
him.
war prophets are inspired by visions of Armageddon. Their sermons and prophecies motivate the pilgrims to move from one battlefield to another, aiming to counter the forces of Satan and achieve martyrdom through combat.
Kind of looks like
Assigned
a
with instilling the
syringe.
fear of God among the troops, castigators are officers of orthodoxy, whom ensure that the soldiers remain righteous while disciplining those who stray. They are shielded by their
Okay.
steadfast faith and the saints they venerate.
So they're like
Communi-
they're there just to make sure everybody keeps on the straight and holy, I guess.
They are shielded by their steadfast faith and the saints they venerate.
Holy versions.
Communicants
of,
are individuals
drill
who have
sergeant.
ingested the flesh and blood of a metachrist, empowering themselves with the divine essence, causing them to increase in size and for their wounds to begin healing miraculously. Even though they are blinded, their vision is remarkably enhanced, with blessed crosses nailed through their eyes to signify this blessing.
The imbibing of the flesh and the blood of the Metachrist seems to do really messed up shit to your body.
On the battlefield, they serve as line breakers and protectors for
I guess
prophets and
that's what happens
castigators.
when you just
A sacred warrior of the
clone
trenches, a
flesh.
trench pilgrim believes it is his spiritual duty to journey to holy battlefields and combat the heretic legions.
of, like,
Either
holy
captured
being.
foes of the true faith or volunteer sinners. Ecclesiastic prisoners are chained individuals who advance through the Great War with the fervent hope that their sacrificial charge will somehow purify their
Holy
corrupted
crap.
souls. They charge in with an explosive device to bring forth an explosive martyrdom, although some manage to survive the blast and continue the battle. The
Holy
stigmatic
crap.
nuns are devoted holy
That's
sisters who bear the
impressive.
stigmata, wounds identical to those of the third Metachrist whom they revere. Stigmatas are physical wounds, scars, and pain that manifest in places mirroring the crucifixion wounds of Jesus Christ, with the
They're
most
probably, like,
well-documented
their
stigmatic
berserker
of our
units.
world being that of Saint Padre Pio. The stigmatic nuns excel in close combat, and their devotion to suffering turns their wounds into a source of power beyond that of ordinary humans.
Yeah,
They
that's
venture
definitely
across
a
no man's
berserker
land
unit.
without fear, praying for wounds that honor the Redeemer, which then transform them into instruments of divine
Sexy
vengeance.
lady berserker
A
unit, that's
massive suit of
terrifying.
armor, powered by diesel
Holy
and faith,
crap.
shrine anchorites are towering metal giants, standing about 12 to 15 feet tall, serving as formidable war altars, nearly impervious to damage. Inside, the anchorite is lined with spikes and barbed hooks, keeping the monk
That's like a Catholic version of the dreadnought. That's insane looking. What was that? Is that like a sheep?
pilot in a continual state of suffering, which they embrace to mirror the pain of their Lord. The outside is adorned with religious icons, sacred relics, and prayer scrolls, all in line with the customs of the pilgrim sect to which the anchorite is dedicated. Hundreds of these battle machines were created under St. Methodius's supervision, but the knowledge of their creation has been lost since the monastery was ruined by a death commando attack. Upon the passing of the monk or the nun whom pilots the anchorite, whether by battle or by age, the remains are carefully collected and preserved in reliquaries attached to the anchorite, turning each of these war machines into a tribute to its enduring history of combat against the forces of hell. Each
That's actually
anchorite
kinda
wields
cool.
an adamantine Catherine wheel and a bonebreaker mace to unleash divine wrath upon sinners, heretics, and apostates. As an act of devotion and penance, it is a widespread tradition for trench pilgrims or stigmatic nuns to be broken by the wheel and spend their final battle mounted upon it. This act symbolizes their readiness to endure suffering for their sins and is believed to provide spiritual protection to the anchorite. Although the church disapproves of this practice, pilgrims eagerly
those
gather
are their
around their
own
anchorites
people,
before any battle,
like, on the
hoping to
verge
earn the
of death.
privilege of dying on the wheel.
That's insane. Okay.
At
I
Chamberlain
might have a
University,
different
we know that competence and
unit
compassion
of
go hand in
choice.
hand.
Trench pilgrims from the procession of
guys
the
are
Sacred Affliction
wild.
are renowned for their ability
up
in
my
close
alley.
quarters combat. Their armor is adorned with religious icons, and their shields display images of the saints, which are resistant to machine gun fire. They carry millstones on their backs, which they use to bind around the neck of sinners before submerging them in the mud and blood of no man's land. They also do not cover their faces, believing that faith alone is sufficient to face the terrors of hell. The Cavalcade of the 10th Plague, named after the final plague in the book of Exodus which brought about the death of Egypt's firstborn sons, traditionally sacrifices lambs before engaging in battle, using its blood to anoint themselves as a means of protecting against divine wrath. Devoutly adhering to the traditional interpretation of the holy texts, they reject the new doctrines introduced by the Metachrist.
That guy. That's some sick ass armor. I love the fact that they've been at war with hell for 800 years, but they still take the time to give detail in the armor.
Additionally, they
still
capture
appreciate
communicants
the
from other
art.
processions and compel them to fight for them
Love it.
as penance for being born out of sin.
All right, Cult of the Black Grail.
Beelzebub, the Lord of Flies, is distinct from other Hell Lords who primarily operate through their mortal agents. When he rises to dominance in the fierce conflicts among the
That is an
Archfiends,
insane
he unleashes
depiction
his
of
most
that,
lethal
of him.
curse, the Black Grail. The Black Grail harbors a relentless enmity towards all living things, infecting nearly all biological material and causing it to erupt with tumors and boils. It annihilates the body, while leaving the mind intact to endure the agony. Despite intense efforts by the church's scientist priests and the sultanate's alchemists to find a cure for this vile disease, they have so far been unsuccessful. The only known remedy is to incinerate the infected settlements with specially designed flamethrower tanks that use consecrated oil as fuel. If
So
this
that's a
method is not
flamethrower
employed,
tank?
infected bodies of humans, horses, dogs, insects, and various
Or is that
animals
just a tank that
rise
can be
again,
flamethrower
driven by a
tank?
demonic force to carry out Beelzebub's will, forming warbands to seek out and infect other life forms, and collect valuable items and gruesome trophies, which they present at the feet of Beelzebub's idols. Leading these warbands are the Knights of the Order of the Fly, degenerate individuals that willingly accept the Black Grail and whose devotion is deemed adequate by Beelzebub. In return, they
Okay, so
receive
he's like a
weapons,
fly
armor,
knight.
and
That's
gear
actually
tainted by
really
the
cool.
Archfiend's influence, in exchange
So-
for sacrifices made at the altars of
So that kind of like makes these guys paladins of Beelzebub. Maybe not as strong as a paladin, but they're that's kind of maybe a little more like clerics,
Beelzebub.
war priests. I would have to see like the stats side by side to make a proper.
The
judgment
Black
on it.
Grail's malevolent influence
Oh,
emanates
that
from
is a
Beelzebub, the
hideous
Lord of
looking
Flies.
son of a bitch.
It propagates through the insects he spawned in the 7th layer of Hell, unleashing a deluge of his vile essence through demonic pests, virulent infections, tainted insects, plagues, and other corruptions that desecrate both body and soul. Among those unfortunate enough to fall under the Black Grail's sway, some are tragically transformed into grotesque winged insects composed of bloated flesh through a harrowing fusion with hellflies. This agonizing transformation renders them heralds of Beelzebub, serving as winged scouts for the Order of the Fly. Heralds stand as the vanguards for the Black Grail, their resonant wing buzz instilling profound terror in their adversaries, eroding their
think they're
concentration
terrifying
and
just
resolve.
looking
They
at
wield
them.
ancient weapons
No
teeming
wonder
with
people are
demonic worms
terrified
that
just hearing them.
disseminate disease. Each tainted bullet possesses a sinister sentience, seeking out any fissure in the enemy's armor in order to penetrate the nervous system and
The
infect
bullets
its
are
target.
sentient.
There are some individuals whom, upon the arrival of the Black Grail, called out to Beelzebub, hoping that the Lord of Flies will spare them if they offer worship and servitude. These individuals' pleas are ignored. However, a handful of mortals, extremely rare, truly embrace Beelzebub's vision of a world ending in a rotting, parasite-infested mass, perpetually plagued by the Black Grail's curse.
Psychos.
Among these twisted souls,
That's
the most depraved
really
are selected
cool.
to join the ranks of the unholy Order of the Fly. Those souls are known as Plague Knights.
After that
Plague
last
Knights
dude?
rise through the Order of the Fly by transforming as many living beings as they can, which increases their rank and earns them more favor from Beelzebub. Of the most
Okay.
renowned plague
Yeah,
knights,
it's an
there
MLM.
exists a dozen, a number which exists in
war-based
mockery of the church's
MLM.
paladins, and they are honored as the Fly's top champions. They live in Ekron, Beelzebub's city, a horrifying place that even heretic lords stay away from. Most individuals who are infected with the Black Grail are turned into Grail thralls, joining the vast army of hollow, infected beings who are doomed to serve the Black Grail's nobles forever, suffering from numerous supernatural
from
afflictions.
Gross
A
to
high-ranking
cool to
official,
roast.
the Lord
Oh,
of Tumors spreads
goodness.
decay and corruption to both allies and enemies. They enter a trance-like state to communicate with the Lord of Flies and are able to channel the power of the Seventh Circle
That's
of
so
Hell.
gross.
Only the most resilient human followers can endure the blessings of the Black Grail. Those who succeed are elevated to the Corpse Guard,
guys are
serving as elite
heinous.
bodyguards to the Black Grail's nobility. Should they prove their worth
want
through
these minis to
exceptional
play the
service,
game. I
they
want
may
these
eventually
minis
be granted
for-
entry into the ranks of the infernal
These
nobility.
are great.
Decayed canine carcasses infested with maggots and
Faction
flies,
for,
the Hounds of the Black Grail carry out the
Dungeons
faction's
and
unholy
Dragons
mission.
purposes.
Their purpose is to roam no man's land, spreading disease and plague in the name of their dark master. An amalgam is a huge mass composed of dozens of infected fallen warriors, insects, mammals, and other living
looks like a
creatures that
sketch.
fell victim to the Black Grail's torment. These monstrous forms move across the battlefield like immense, bloated heaps of disease.
Oh.
Following the
guess
opening of the
cult
gates
of
of
the Black
hell,
Grail
a
is
summons
the
was
war
issued
band.
to those who held the Islamic faith, leading to a mass migration across Europa, Asia, and Africa over the following decades. Millions died along the way and at sea, as heretics attacked them like locusts consuming a field, devouring them and constructing dreadful monuments from their remains, preventing proper burial as prescribed in their holy texts. Once the survivors arrived,
That's
the
fucked
great
up.
gates of Al-Quran were shut, and the great sultanate of the invincible iron wall of the two horns that pierce the sky was established. Despite the ongoing conflict to defend the walls of the Sultanate,
a
which
long-winded
leads to new
title.
martyrs each day and night, the Sultanate thrives within the walls. From mosques of white marble and gold, the muezzins summon the faithful to pray for the success of the Sultan's army as it fights to safeguard their territory. Although there is an agreement between the church and the Sultanate to
they're a
fight
walled-in
together against the
city-state.
armies of hell, in the Sultanate, there is a
Hey, it
profound
sounds like
resentment
the
towards the
world has been
infidels who unleashed
separated
Gog
into
and Magog
city-states.
upon the world.
More like city nations.
Military expeditions across the Great Iron
Oh,
Wall
geez,
into
he
no
has a
man's
heartbeat.
land are led by field officers known as Yuzbashi, chosen solely on merit rather than family background or wealth, often
weapon
promoted
is
from the Janissary
awesome
Corps.
looking.
Enhanced by Jabreen alchemical arts and mystic conditioning, Yuzbashi face enemies fearlessly, as their mental hardening makes them indifferent to pain and ruthless in battle. They are equipped with exceptional armor made of meteoric iron, silver-gilded carbines with alchemical ammunition, and killage swords inscribed with golden calligraphy. The most
Shit.
formidable carry hand cannons that also serve as halberds and may wear cloaks of their greatest kills, such as hand cannons and killage
hand
swords
cannon?
inscribed with golden calligraphy. The most formidable carry hand cannons that also serve as halberds and may wear cloaks of their greatest
Woof.
kills, such as
Is that a
chimeras, to
gun?
protect against Shaitan's power. Success earns Yuzbashi the Sultan's favor, bringing honor, Damascus steel weaponry, and access to Jabreen alchemical wonders. Hunting is also esteemed among their ranks, and artificial birds of prey and automaton hounds are used as effective weapons of war alongside the Yuzbashi. Alchemists
still
are
can't get
mystical
past that that's a
practitioners
gun.
of the great Sultanate of the Iron Wall,
Hey, look at
trained
this
in the
little
House
buddy.
of Wisdom. Admission is open to anyone with necessary will and intellect, regardless of gender. Candidates face numerous trials on their way to mastery. Only after 7 years of rigorous study under the
very
scrutiny of the High
open about them.
Alchemagi can an aspiring alchemist attempt the 3 trials required to achieve full membership in the Order. The first trial involves crafting a suit of the alchemist's armor adorned with the Seals of Solomon, allowing the alchemist to guard against even the grand mechanisms of hell. The second trial is to craft a Takwin servant, a homunculus imbued with artificial life
Makes
and
sense that
intelligence. This
Solomon
being
is
will
still-
serve as a living tool for the alchemist. Though it resembles a small human, it can alter its body into a near-liquid state, allowing it to navigate alchemical chambers, even in extreme temperatures and dense poisonous fumes. Many aspirants fail at this stage, resulting in a malformed creature emerging from its golden celestial sphere, filled with animosity towards its creator. This monstrous failure will burrow into the alchemist's body, destroying their would-be master. The final test involves opening the third eye, which grants cosmic insight and the ability to perceive the fundamental elements of creation. Those who fail this test undergo horrific transformations. They are doomed to spend the remainder of their lives in torment, constantly screaming about the terrifying, unseen horrors now revealed to them. Out of compassion, alchemists who fail in this manner are often put down, though rumors persist of secret groups keeping these unfortunate beings alive for mysterious reasons. An alchemist who has successfully completed all 3 trials is a master of the arcane arts, able to control elements, craft mechanical devices, create artificial life, and develop weapons of immense destructive power. The Janissaries are the elite warriors of the Sultanate. They are made up of the young captured during raids beyond the wall and undergo stringent military training and indoctrination into elite warriors. Through spiritual and alchemical methods, their minds are subtly controlled and conditioned to ensure absolute and unyielding loyalty to the Sultan alone. Their physical traits are enhanced by powerful potions made by using the mystical Jabreen arts. Their elaborate armor is made from a special metal formula derived by the Sultanate's alchemists. They are safeguarded by strong talismans created by the blind thaumaturgists from the school of the meteoric omen. Equipped with Jezzail rifles, hand mortars, Yatagan blades, and a deep-seated devotion, the Janissaries are truly formidable adversaries. Deep beneath the golden gardens of Damascus, one can encounter the great alchemists of the Sultanite. Through the Jabreen technique known as Takwin, alchemists can generate artificial life, crafting a variety of bizarre and marvelous creatures and automatons. It is in this place and through these means that the Sultanate crafts the dreaded Lions of Jabir. Named after the fierce hunters of the plains, the Lions of Jabir can take on various forms. Each one is a unique creation, crafted according to the skills and artistry of the Jabreen scientist who designed it. The arcane techniques used by the alchemists come from the studying of the forbidden books of Solomon, and many alchemists lose their lives when their experiments go awry. Designing the Lions of Jabir is a challenging task with numerous variables to manage, leading to frequent deformities. The most tragic cases are those lions who experience profound existential anguish as they come to understand the terrifying nature of their unnatural creation. The Lions of Jabir are formidable adversaries and serve as the frontline force of the Sultanate's army. The Sultan himself is protected by a personal retinue of 77 colossal Lions of Jabir. Their speed and ferocity are nearly unparalleled, and some possess unusual abilities due to their alchemical origins. Many are adorned with armor fused into their flesh, crafted with alchemical metals, inscribed with mysterious symbols, and elaborately decorated by the alchemists to conceal any flaws in their design. Ghost Wolves, the Secret Knives, and the Sultan's Wrath. These are the many names of the Sultanate Assassins, a legendary order of mystic warriors feared for their esoteric skills and ruthlessness. Though the Ismaili sect of assassins is considered heretical by many within the Iron Wall, a pact with the Sultan ensures they often serve in the Sultanate's warbands. These assassins possess the ability to manipulate space and time through sacred rituals and potent hallucinogens, allowing them to appear in multiple places at once, strike with incredible speed, and retreat in a flash. Their enhancements through powerful chemicals and potions makes them significantly taller, faster, and stronger than ordinary men. They carry out their duties in service to the Sultan, executing ritualistic holy murders of his enemies. While skilled with various weapons, they prefer poisoned blades crafted in Alamut. These blades are coated with supreme poison, known as the Milk of Manat or the Cup of Death, which guarantees death upon contact with unprotected skin. Young assassins are raised in deep underground chambers on a bitter, toxin-rich diet that increases their poison tolerance. Their blood is used to create poisonous iron, which is forged into deadly blades with enchantments. The Sultanate's vast lands allow for the raising of large armies from its many provinces, with one household in 20 required to equip a soldier known as an Azeb. An Azeb, meaning unmarried, serve as light infantry on land and sea and defend the Great Iron Wall against heretic attacks. For elite missions beyond the wall, volunteers are called upon, drawn by the promise of fame and valuable loot. Azebs use varied weaponry due to their lack of access to the elite arms and armor reserved for higher-ranking troops. They commonly carry Jezzails with distinctive curved stocks, which are handmade and can be loaded with different types of ammunition, including rough bullets, iron nails, or alchemical silvers from the Great Iron Wall. Other weapons include curved daggers, scimitars, pistols, and sappers' tools. Azebs are seen as expendable, with their deaths considered a path to paradise. Despite the high casualty rate and the harsh conditions in the trenches, new recruits eagerly enlist for the chance to serve the Sultan, fight the enemy, and return home with glory and riches. The Sultan's sappers are tasked with operating the cannons of the Iron Wall. Due to the
Their
tendency of their
engineering
powerful
units.
artillery to overheat, they are often marked by severe burns across their bodies. Many have perished
Unofficial
while manning
imagery.
their
Okay.
guns, succumbing to the intense heat and smoke. Protected by the iron wall, the Sultanate has long excelled in artillery. However, the heavy siege guns on the wall are
Brazen
impractical
Bull?
for smaller expeditionary
Okay.
forces.
Name
In the year
after it-
821 of
name
the
it
Hira,
after that,
Sultan
torture.
Bayezid III commissioned a new form of living field artillery. The Jabreen scientists of the Royal Artillery House, after centuries of experimentation, created
Really
the
cool
Brazen
looking.
Bull, or Boha, a powerful
that
creature
gun will
of
fuck you
war.
up.
The Brazen Bull, equipped with heavy artillery like flame cannons and volley guns, and blessed with holy blades, is designed to be an unstoppable force of nature. The Brazen Bull is covered in intricately adorned bronze armor with thrice-hardened scales, inscribed with protective talismans and blessings. On the battlefield, beyond the Iron Wall, it is a fearsome and imposing presence. Acting as a steadfast, unyielding shield and tower, it leads the Sultanate's forces. The Iron Sultanate and the Assassin Fortress of Alamut have a pact where the Sultan receives the services of the highly skilled assassins in exchange
Alright,
for
so
Alamut's autonomy.
the
While the
Assassins
Assassins are known for their work with the Sultanate's forces, they also conduct secretive missions in no man's land. Led by Rashid al-Din Sinan, the ruler of Alamut, these missions are assigned through dreams rather than direct communication. The secretive warbands,
that's
called Fidei,
cool.
undertake these covert operations with a master assassin and 2
Eliminates
experienced
paper trail.
members, accompanied by trainee acolytes. The purpose of these missions remains unknown. Alamut also houses a renegade sect of Ismaili dervishes, warrior monks who join these missions as a form of piety and payment for their shelter.
Assassins and monks living in the
Do
same
not listen to that.
Thank you, man.
The court's hierarchy is in constant flux, with only Mammon maintaining near-continuous control over the position of greed throughout the entire Great War. Other positions, however, have been filled by a dizzying array throughout the entire...
court is 7-headed
The court's
serpent.
hierarchy is in constant flux, with
so this
only
is the hell-
Mammon
the forces
maintaining
of hell.
near-continuous control over the position of greed throughout the entire Great War. Other positions, however, have been filled by a dizzying array of other high-ranking infernal nobles, each rising and falling in power. This chaotic cycle of fleeting glory and inevitable ruin mirrors the shifts in power among their mortal followers on Earth.
Okay, so the
War
leaders of
Council
hell are
operates by
constantly
majority
changing
vote,
and in flux.
often with razor-thin margins, and it doesn't take much for an ambitious prince or princess of hell to make enough enemies to be deposed. Once fallen, they must start their rise from the bottom, tormented by the mockery of their rivals. Numerous envious rivals
It
scheme
probably
against the
just
heads
makes
of the
them stronger.
serpent, eager to usurp them and claim the power and prestige of such high positions. The strength of the demon lords often fluctuates depending on how many mortal followers they can corrupt, leading to constant shifts in which demon lords are able to wear one of the 7-headed serpent crowns. Though Beelzebub is by far the most powerful devil of gluttony, he rejects his rightful place at the court, choosing instead to wage his war against creation through the Black Grail. As a result, his seat on the hungry throne remains vacant, allowing lesser
So
demons to
he's
compete
waging
for the
a war
honor of
for
claiming
hell,
it.
but it's
At the court's
basically his
command,
own
Hell's
war.
warbands assemble at...
Oh, that dude. This guy. That's insane looking. That's the fucking sword, the Lionel Kinsman. I think that's what it is. An Elden Ring attacks you with.
and march
It's a really
forth
cool
to
looking
ravage the
greatsword,
mortal
but I
world.
hate it.
Yoke
It's a
fiends
terrible
rally
weapon.
under the banners of their commanders and sorcerers. The Hell Knights, their
Those are
broken
really cool
forms
looking-
bound
oh,
in
the
armor,
Praetor.
rise from their fiery tombs, where they are kept crushed
He's
beneath
terrifying.
massive basalt slabs when not in battle. Pit locusts lead the charge,
Holy
their wings
shit.
clattering as they announce the court's arrival, their venomous stings leaving wounds that cannot be healed. Occasionally, when the ominous signs in Hell's sky align, a hunter of the left-hand path will join the warband, marking their mission with a sense of dread and honor. During these times,
Holy
eerie
shit,
triumphant
priority
music
target
echoes
much?
from unseen sources, for participating in such hunts is considered a great privilege. Before most warbands, the Yoke Fiends drive human slave soldiers known as the Wretched. who have no demon blood. These poor souls are used as disposable shock troops or tortured to fuel the dark magic of the court's sorcerers. They are captured during hunts, sold in heretic domains, or unfortunate enough to cross into the thin places where the borders of the world are weak. Their minds are shattered by the horrors of damnation they witness while still alive. Desperate to escape a fate far worse than death, they will clutch at any hope. If a wretch manages to defeat a powerful opponent, the law of hell is clear. They earn their freedom. In remembrance of the first rebellion when war broke out in heaven and the blood of angels stained the sky. Many of the court's warriors possess goetic spells, abilities that harness the suffering of mortals as a source of spiritual energy to unleash the reality-altering powers of the demons. As God's plan for the universe is disrupted and twisted, infernal sorcerers and demonic beings can tap into the primordial energy released from creation to warp reality. However, demons must act swiftly, for God's omnipotence will soon reassert itself, closing the window for them to reshape the world. This creates a constant and escalating need for human sacrifices, pain, and unrelenting warfare to fuel their supernatural abilities.
Could make sense. So they gotta constantly kill people in order to keep going. Very demonic of them. They really went next level with these unit designs. That's for damn sure.
A new Butterfinger ice cream bar.
You mean the double treat I've been dreaming of?
When the gate of hell was opened by the ultimate heresy of the Templars, the warbands of the court surged forth, sweeping through the Levant long before the First Heretic Legion was formed. They struck down the peoples of the Middle East, Asia, and Europa, obliterating mortal armies with ease like fire consuming dry straw. Only at Antioch and the Iron Wall were they finally stopped, though at great cost. In their wake, countless men and women, awestruck by even the lesser servants of hell, fell to their knees and worshipped the court as gods. Of those worshippers, the most wicked hearts were spared, becoming the first heretics. Over time, the numbers grew into the millions, filling the cities and domains now cloaked in the shadow of the Hellgate. The court's foot soldiers, being both of the material world and the spirit realm, can march to war on earth without fear of divine retribution, as they do not violate the covenant of hell. The court also keeps the size of these warbands in check, ensuring that most of the suffering and death in the Great War falls upon mortals. This serves two purposes: to defy God and to strengthen the devil's own power. The more humans are corrupted and slain in the rebellion, the more God's plan is disrupted, allowing the power of the devils to grow. The court's mission against the faithful do not follow the predictable logic of a mortal commander. A powerful praetor might attack a militarily insignificant village just to kill a newborn, who would one day become a saint, betray their own followers by suddenly assaulting an unsuspecting heretic settlement, or even clash with a rival warband from another head of the serpent. Praetors are demonic commanders and magistrates who oversee a small portion of the domain of a powerful archdevil or demon lord. Each praetor commands small bands of hell's denizens, raised from the ever-changing realms of the infernal depths, at the will of their liege. Yoke devils rally under their command, and hell knights, bound to unquestioning obedience, kneel before these field commanders of hell. Sorcerers take many forms, altering their bodies to enhance their ability to cast powerful spells. Some are endowed with multiple arms, others with multiple heads, or a variety of horrific modifications. Some self-inflicted, others imposed by force, based on the desires of their archdevil masters and the high sorcerers guiding their goetic strategy. A sorcerer's feet do not touch the ground, a lingering trace of their angelic origins. Instead, they float across no man's land, chanting the cruel gospel of hell as they advance. Their dark wisdom and cunning make them equally adept at leading one of the court's warbands or advising a praetor as they march into the mortal realm. The hunters of the court of the seven-headed serpent are devoted to the left-hand path. They roam the primordial wilds of hell, hunting fearsome beasts while practicing dark magics and divination. Using the still-beating hearts and entrails of their living prey, they interpret omens and portents to guide their infernal masters. The silent battalions of hell, summoned to serve when the court of seven-headed serpents seeks sport, are composed of hell knights. Their ever-burning banners stream as they march to war, carrying out the bidding of their masters. A yoke fiend stands 7 to 8 feet tall, its body a mass of trembling fat and muscle, branded by its masters and carved by the hell priests to mark it as the property of greater demons. It possesses bestial traits such as the horns and hooves of cattle or goats, and ape-like limbs with bones of great density. Yoke fiends loathe seeing their own reflection, for deep down they know the beauty and glory they have lost. These unfortunate souls have no trace of demon blood. They are used as disposable shock troopers or tortured to fuel the goetic magic of the sorcerers and other practitioners of dark arts.
The cannon fodder
if
right
a wretch
there.
manages to defeat a powerful foe, the law of hell is clear.
Throw 'em
the
at the
mortal
wall, see
earns
what
their
sticks.
freedom. Pit locusts are horrifying, horse-sized, winged and armored creatures with grotesque human-like faces. They fight using razor-sharp blades attached to their limbs and venomous stingers, making them deadly foes. And there we have it.
Awesome.
The entirety of the lore from the Trench Crusade universe, from the original lore primer and playtest rules. I hope you guys found this as interesting as I did, and that this video was helpful for those of you interested in either the game or this universe. If you have any suggestions for other lore dives you'd like to see, please leave a comment so that I can consider it for a future video. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm looking forward to the next video with all of you.
All right. Well, I already liked it. That was really cool. Thank you for watching. Thank you for making it, Kateri lore. That was awesome. So that was Trench Crusade. That's just the basic lore of it. We might come back and watch some more of that. We've only been streaming for about an hour. You know what? Yeah, let's try it. Let's try to wrap this up. I'm super relaxed. I'm like loosened up. Got like another hour before I gotta hit the hay, so let's try to wrap this up. If I can manage to wrap this up, we can get to control tomorrow morning.
Don't go count.
Oh no, not control. We can just wrap up Bendy.
With pleasure.
Yep. I agree, Jack. Just make sure. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Just focus on the rockets, missiles, whatever. Bombs.
Now this is what I call a target-rich environment.
We gotta lock in on these jumps.
Yeah.
Ah, almost made it.
Another way down. How many are we talking?
Just shut up and keep firing!
Oh, come on. I'm looking at the thing. Give me the damn prompt. Come on, man.
Don't go counting your mice just yet. They're coming. Get them off my tail.
With pleasure. Now this is what I call a target-rich environment.
Yep. Okay. Drop the box.
Another way down.
Like those bastards.
Just shut up and keep firing.
Oh. Ah, oh, my God. Shit.
Don't go counting your mice just yet. They're coming. Get them off my tail.
With pleasure.
Like, this is taking me a lot longer than it should, in all honesty. I don't know why I'm
Now
doing
this is what
so
I call
poorly
a
in
target-rich
the
environment.
platforming of this section.
Another way down. How many are we talking?
Just shut up and keep firing.
Made it?
We're feeling downright heroic here.
Jack, focus. Shoot. Don't talk.
I'm working on it. You. Okay. Suzanne. Shit. Got him. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay. There's health and armor over there.
Holy
Made it.
Mimolette. Where are they all coming from?
Woo! Another one. Shit! I accidentally swapped weapons because I thought he died. Alright. 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 I will be right back. I have to use the restroom. Alrighty, we're back. Alright. Alright.
Don't go counting your mice just yet! They're coming! Get them off my tail!
With pleasure.
When she closes the hatch. Hit the freaking thing, Jack.
Now this is what I call a target-rich environment.
Mm-hmm. Those. Yes.
Another way down.
All right.
How many are we talking?
Just shut up and keep firing!
Go. Got him. All right. Made it?
I'm feeling downright heroic here.
Made it.
Jack, focus! Shoot! Don't talk!
All right. Made it. Shit. Didn't make it. Fell off. Thought I could have sworn I landed that. Oh, all right.
Don't go counting your mice just yet! They're coming! Get them off my tail!
With pleasure.
Let's go. Come on.
Now this is what I call a target-rich environment.
All right. Let's go. Come on. Made it.
Another way down. How many are we talking?
Just shut up and keep firing!
All right. Made it. Where you go? You prick. I got him. Okay. No. There we go. Okay. Made it. Made it.
I'm feeling downright heroic here.
Made it. Okay.
Jack, focus! Shoot! Don't talk!
Oh, I missed the button. I didn't look up high enough. Damn it. Skill issue. Skill issue. 100% a skill issue. I do wish there was better checkpointing.
Don't go counting your mice just
Like
yet!
making it
They're
to
coming! Get them off my tail!
the midpoint. Like landing on Hammy's plane again. Checkpoint there, please. But other than that, it's 100% a skill issue. It's just, I think having a checkpoint there would make it a little
Now
bit more
this is what I call a
forgiving
target-rich
for
environment.
people with said skill issue. This is like my fucking 20th time doing this damn thing. Shit.
Another way down. How many are we talking?
Just shut up and keep firing!
Right? Jump. Oh. Got it. And we got you. All right. Again.
Feeling downright heroic here.
Okay. Palms are getting sweaty. All right.
Shoot! Don't talk!
Okay. Don't need that. All right. Made it. Okay. All right.
Holy number one. Where are they all coming from?
Okay, you're dead. Shit. All right. Yes.
Okay, Jack. This is where you get off.
Thanks, Tammy. I gotta move. Sawyer's got Tammy, and I need to.
What do you want about?
Well, he's kidnapped you, Tammy. And...
Yeah, he's got John, genius. We haven't heard from him since last night.
Oh shit! No, John.
Close to my heart. Those absolute.
Jump! Go after them!
All right, I'm going. Yeesh.
Oh, finally. All right, so we're here now. Good. 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 Oh, airlock.
You know, for a two-bit politician, that guy's got stamina. I'll give him that.
Yeah, not the first time you said that, Jack. Oh. Definitely boss fight coming. Save. All right. The final boss. We only have one. Let's do it.
Welcome to the trap, mouse. All right, Sawyer, this is it. The end of the line. And I'd have gotten away with it, too. If it weren't for you, you meddling mouse. Nuh-uh. Not without Curd feeding you orders. A puppet's just dead wood without a pulling hand. How? Without me? BMP will find someone else. Maybe not as camera-friendly, sure, but just as easy to steer. Because let's face it, Sawyer, you couldn't scheme your way out of a running wheel. You're just
no,
not
and he
that
apparently
smart.
couldn't act either.
You!
Failed politician turned actor turned failed
too damn stubborn.
Failed
And
politician
you,
to failed actor,
you're
failed
out of
politician. That's one. Actually, let's. Blast that. Alright, that didn't do too much. Of course, he's attacking you with his voice. Fuck on that, dillweed.
We interrupt this broadcast with fresh intel from our friendly Herald reporter. This just in, folks. BNP sucks.
You pesky mouse! How dare you! It's time to get focused! Copying someone else's work, huh? Classic.
Yeah, dickhead. I've been here before. Ow.
How can I control the masses now?
You can't. That's the whole point. Damn it. Ahaha, dickhead.
You're ruining my empire.
Oh. What? Made it. Made it. Oh, shit. Ow. Okay. Don't land there. Crap. Alright, so we're going to load right outside of there, though, but so we don't have to do all that platforming anymore.
How many are we talking?
Just shut up and keep firing!
Alright, Tammy. Whoa. Actually.
My bonus special! That shield's tighter than our 10x.
Freaking really? On there.
These rockets!
Nope. Where's the last one? Did I get all four? I did.
We interrupt this broadcast with fresh intel from our friendly Herald reporter. This just in, folks. BNP sucks.
You pesky mouse! How dare you! It's time to get focused!
Alright, so that black smoke is also bad.
Classic.
Let's try to stay in the middle. Right there. Yeah, bitch. You.
They spin lines with a thread thick enough to anchor a ship.
You.
How can I control the masses now?
Not my problem, Dingle Dork.
Who do we hate? Sawyer.
Yes, we do.
My empire!
Oh. Oh. Aha! Made it through.
Look closely! The criminal detective!
Ah!
Free speech!
Ah, look at you getting nervous. You're just a scared little crook.
Whoop.
Stop him before he wrecks everything!
Oh, sounds like your rig's taking a beating.
BNP lies. Would you look at that?
That toast. Your voter special.
Get down there!
Yep, I can believe those are morons.
Approval rate's gonna love these rockets!
Oh crap, the bomb's coming my way.
BNP is corrupt? I am
Crap.
so shocked.
Lies! It's all lies! Fake news!
Oh crap!
I got full spectrum, and they're gonna shine!
Well, he's consistent, I'll give him that.
Damn it. Ooh. Whoop.
BNP? More like DUNP.
Damn it. Haha.
And of course, the criminal PI destroys
Oh.
our culture!
Boy, this got real old real fast.
Aha, shit. Need help.
BNP is a bunch of debased morons. Can you believe
Damn it.
Oh,
Yes.
just shut your damn mouth!
Damn it. Wrong button. I pressed Q instead of E. Can I shoot him?
Another wave down. How many are we talking?
Just shut up and keep firing!
Freaking die already. Damn. Machines.
Where's your off now, Peppa? Approval rate's gonna love these rockets! My bonus special!
Shit. Almost toast.
We interrupt this
Got it.
broadcast with fresh intel from our friendly Herald reporter. This just in, folks. BNP sucks.
You pesky mouse! How dare you!
Yeah.
It's time to get focused!
That's what they all say.
Copying someone else's work, huh? Classic.
Suck it, dipshit.
They spin lies with a thread thick enough to anchor a ship.
No! How can I control the masses now?
Not once it's hidden, not my problem.
Who do we hate?
Ew.
You're ruining my empire!
Stop that. Kept helicoptering when I didn't want it.
The criminal detective is fighting free speech!
Ah, look at you getting nervous. You're just a scared
Ow.
little crook.
Stop him before he wrecks everything!
Oh, sounds like your rig's taking a beating.
Approval rate's gonna love these rockets!
Crap.
Get down there!
They spin lies with a thread thick
Alright. Okay. So those are deaths. Oh, I didn't want to do that yet.
He is corrupt? I am so shocked!
Lies! It's all lies! Fake news! I got full spectrum, and they're gonna shine!
Well, he's consistent, I'll give him that.
Right? Nope.
BNP? More like DUNP.
Nope. Ow. Ow.
And of course, the criminal PI destroys our culture!
Boy, this got real old real fast.
Alright. Run this way.
Can you believe it?
Oh, just shut your damn mouth!
Damn it.
Stop moving, damn it!
Damn it.
I like this way too much.
Okay. Damn it.
B&B lies. Huh. Would you look at that?
Shit. Got it. Just in time. Aha, fucking dick.
How are you still alive?
Oh, that felt expensive.
All right. We shoot this bastard now?
Enough of all this, you damn mouse! Your little stunt changes nothing, you hear? Nothing will break BMP!
Except me.
Time to
I'm
end
really good at
this
breaking shit.
nightmare rally.
I must squash you like a bug.
Pierogi
Your
cake,
goons
huh?
go down, then I'm coming for you. I was supposed to save this for a special occasion. Oh well. Excelsior! Something.
1 second. I have to use the restroom again. And then we will get to murdering some goons. All right. Before we thrash these goons, let's do this real quick. Stream settings. Plus wrapping up mouse PI. Should turn off caps lock. Wrapping up mouse PI. Mouse PI. There we go. And, where do we get? Add this to the mouse PI streams. There we go. That's all set up and good to go. Let's.
B&B lies. Huh. Would you look at that?
Somebody got stuck. So much cheese. Want to eat it right away? Cool. You.
Who do we hate? Sawyer.
More cheese would be nice. You.
BMP lies. Huh. Would you look at that?
Yeah. Put a hole in your goon. Ain't no pierogi.
Seems the only thing Sawyer
He's more
controls
like a
now
rigatoni.
is his sphincter.
Ah, hell,
Jeez.
Jake. Now I gotta clean this up myself. I'm not some crook. I'm a boss. A boss.
Oh yeah?
Let's up the ante. Ah! Ah! What am I paying you idiots?
Shit. All right, is it gonna checkpoint me there or at the beginning of the goon? Probably the goon with the checkpointing of this game. Oh no. Yeah. Shit. Jeez. Damn it.
Folks, it seems the only thing Sawyer controls now is his sphincter.
Ah, hell, Jake. Now I gotta clean
I don't
this
even
up
think he's got
myself.
control of that.
I'm not some crook. I'm a boss. A boss. Let's up the ante. Ah! Ah! What am I paying you idiots for?
Oh, jeez.
Ah! My bonus special!
Jeez. Jeez.
My bonus special!
Jeez. Shit. Jeez, lots of these. We're getting you this time, Sawyer. You fuckwit. Boogeyworm Mouse, you are not, sir. At least that douchebag has charisma.
All
You
right,
got
this is it.
nothing.
End of the line. Oh, just shut your damn mouth! You're a dead mouse! Dead!
Nah, buddy. That's a you.
It'll be okay. My body will be okay. Right? Right? Saw you later, pal.
Oh my God.
This is crap. Not gonna use it. Burn that one. Don't use that one.
And you said he had a bad line. Jack. Oh, come. Man girdle. Hey, John. 1 second, bud. All right. What's up, little buddy?
You still in one piece?
More or less. Those acid-swimming sharks weren't at all excessive. Man, hell of a tale to tell over some melted cheese,
Acid-swimming
huh?
sharks.
Well, don't jinx it. We're
Classic.
still on a ticking blimp.
Saw some evac planes in the back when they dragged me in. But hey, did we win? Is this thing finally over?
Well, define over.
What was that?
Nothing. Let's get out of here. I bet Tammy's already... What a wild ride, huh? John is safe. Tammy made it through. The crooks are down. The little guys are up. With a shot at a better tomorrow. A couple of days of peace, if we're lucky. Still, something tells me there are cheese strings out there yet to be unraveled.
I'm looking
today,
forward to playing
I'm done.
more.
Ah, who am I kidding? The journey goes on, straight through the night, hoping dawn remembers to show.
I loved it. I loved it. Solid 8 out of 10. Handcrafted tale born of ink, sweat, and stubborn dreams. From the bottom of our gritting hearts, thank you for playing. Thank you for making. This game was awesome. I fully loved it. Solid 8 out of 10. The checkpointing in some of those areas could be a little bit better, in my opinion, but otherwise, I loved it. For a handcrafted, they set themselves prompt and they nailed it. They got the aesthetic down of the noir setting, the rubber hose animation. I loved all the references. It was good. It was freaking awesome. Very much looking forward to the DLC. We will come back. Does not look like there's a new game plus. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, that's okay. But that was Mouse PI. We will be returning tomorrow morning with Bendy in the ink machine. We'll wrap that up and then we'll return with return to Control. But Bendy in the morning, Phoenix Point in the evening. But until then, I've been Dapper Fox, that Dapper Yeen, and if you liked this, please do that YouTube ritual down below of liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting that notification bell. If you showed up for the live, I appreciate it. If you showed up for the VOD, love you too. You guys are all great. You're fantastic. Last I saw, we're 1 away from 10 subs. We were at 9. I don't know. But we're slowly growing, and that's great. I will see you guys in the morning. Until then, have a dapper night. You know, bye.